In 1999, as a young poet, I wanted to bring artists together, so it became Urban Artist Alliance. And I would do these open mics where artists from different disciplines, musicians, poets, songwriters, dancers, whomever, can kind of come together and do some fun stuff. There's the physical space of this storefront, but it's also kind of a psychological, a social space where you are now given an opportunity to explore these different parts of who you are without interruption, without harassment, without criticism. So our relevance is evident by the continued depopulation of the region. People who leave this area thinking that if they're an artist, there's no audience for them. If they're an audience, there are no artists for them. We're just a reminder of how these two things can come together in really powerful ways. Hopefully one of many arts groups that are trying to bring together artists who are engaging audiences and audiences who want to be engaged. There was an instance where there was a group of people who walked in. They hadn't really seen what we had to offer before.
What kind of friend can't remember a face anymore?
They may have heard that we've done poetry, but they don't know what kind of poetry.
My dreams of her are flashes of Ethiopian mountains alongside lakes, amongst a field of canufa flowers and hummingbirds.
What brand of poetry we may offer.
No voice of hers, I just hear humming like...
Two older white people loved it. The poets that evening were black.
Awakening from the struggles of sleep, more like nights of deja vu.
They were white.
My dreams have turned into repetitive episodes in a bed of sweat and memories with grief and guilt, and God seems to have no answers for me.
We're able to experience.
It's like I don't want to believe she's...
in a way.
I couldn't even send her mother roses.
That opened them up.
Of condolences in my absence, I tucked her pictures in a box.
That allowed them to enjoy.
And placed them in the darkest corner of the basement.
These poets.
This is the closest I'll get to a funeral. I can't stare at a face I couldn't say.
Regardless of whatever their backgrounds might have been.
All because of domestic fatal attraction I was somewhat of a witness of. Have you ever been toe-to-toe with life and death?
And they came back.
With time being the judge, or ear to ear with a situation you didn't see coming, with time being the ultimatum, Sophia.
The very next time.
Seems like the last words I spoke to her.
So they can experience the poetry slam again.
A friend trying to bridge the gap between victim and being victorious.
So that happens when you open yourself up to different possibilities. Our view is to create a stage that brings people to an area that has been under-resourced, which is the north side of St. Louis, to bring audiences to an area where they feel it might be dangerous, but isn't nearly as dangerous as they might perceive. To try to break down and perhaps challenge individuals to be a part of a whole region and not just a part of a smaller region. So that means that all of it can be enjoyed. All of it can be spaces where art can happen, where creatives can exist and do some powerful things. And we want to remind people or let people know that if you come to this area, you'll be just as engaged, just as safe to experiment with different kinds of creative expression as you would anywhere else. The best thing that I can do is position artists to do what they do best, which is engage people, engage audiences. Make sure that artists are in the best light possible, to make sure that artists are fully empowered to do some beautiful things.